Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, if petrol and diesel are to end up in our rearview mirrors, what will we need to power the green revolution? One key raw material that the world is relying on in electric car batteries and your mobile phone is lithium. I spoke with Łukasz Bednarski, the author of a new book on the global race in lithium production. Beneath these great Bolivian salt flats lies the world's biggest deposits of a metal that has been dubbed the new oil. Lithium is an essential component in the batteries we need to transition away from fossil fuels. And as the switch to electric gathers pace, it's sparking an international scramble for supplies, with the UK even looking to start mining for it in Cornwall. But the UK, EU and US are desperately playing catch-up, with China already positioned for global supply chain dominance. And its mining is not without controversy or environmental concerns. Why do we use lithium in batteries in the first place?
Well, it's one of the few minerals that could, or I would say the only mineral that allows the battery to achieve the energy density that we need for applications as electric vehicles or our energy-hungry electronic devices.
So we can see how much China has done. Mm-hmm. Have we already lost any sense of this race? I mean, are we already behind? And are they going to dominate?
Yeah, I mean, China took a tremendous effort to, achieve the place that they have now in the battery economy. They started early on. They certainly missed the oil race. They were too weak at the time as a country to participate. So they saw this new battery economy coming, and they realized that they need a seat at the table here, right? So they invested tremendously in lithium mining, in lithium processing, and in battery factories. So we as the Western world, we certainly lag behind.
You compared this to the oil race. Is lithium similarly finite? And so will there be the same source of economy?
Yeah, lithium resources are, there is a certain amount of them in the ground, so they are not infinite, but we cannot recycle a barrel of oil while we can recycle the battery.
So how important is the use of lithium battery technology in getting the world to net zero?
I think it's tremendously important because, we are, if we employ batteries in cars, and if we turn into electric cars, then we eliminate the emissions coming from conventionally powered vehicles. And then, it's also likely that this technology in the future will be applied in airplanes, in marine vessels. So all these emissions which are coming from transportation can be eliminated.
And how environmentally damaging is both the extraction and the use?
I mean, of course, like every kind of mining, lithium extraction also does harm to the environment, right? But we can see that it ranks better than fossil fuels, that's for sure.
We recently covered attempts at extraction in Cornwall. Is there enough in Britain for Britain to be a player?
Yeah, I certainly keep my fingers crossed for these companies, but I think we are far away from having the same position as we have in oil, as most of these projects are in early stages.
Łukasz Bednarski, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Afghanistan's foreign reserves have been frozen and the International Monetary Fund has cut off access to loans. So although foreign aid has been the lifeblood of Afghan governments for the last 20 years, the Taliban will now need to raise money by other means. They have one potential ace up their sleeves: the vast, untapped mineral resources beneath Afghanistan's mountain slopes. But can they find a buyer? Our economics editor, Helia Ebrahimi, reports.
Political shocks and a Taliban on the rise. But the economic fallout is not far behind. On the ground in Afghanistan, money is running out. People queue to withdraw their savings in dollars, but not everyone will get their request. Afghanistan is an aid-dependent economy. More than 20% of national income comes from foreign aid, paying for 75% of government spending. Since the withdrawal, the Americans have frozen $9 billion of the country's foreign assets, while the International Monetary Fund halted $370 million, citing lack of clarity. Washington has also suspended shipments of physical dollars, causing the currency to depreciate to record lows. Is Afghanistan now an economy in freefall?
Absolutely, it is. It's got a virtually non-functioning financial system. I think that became evident in the aftermath of the fall of Kabul, where we saw people queuing up to access cash from banks. The situation is very, very bleak, unless there's a knight in shining armor in the form of Russia or China, who are able to essentially helicopter money into the Afghanistan central bank. But, I think we've got to prepare for the possibility of a lot of pain in the next few months.
200 years of imperialist intervention, and no one has managed to monetize the vast natural resources hidden in the valleys of Afghanistan. Iron ore, oil and gas, and even dubbed as the Saudi Arabia of lithium, the power source of electric batteries. The Taliban now control a potential $1 trillion of mineral deposits. This is the Ayanak mine, the world's second largest copper mine, and the Chinese are already on maneuvers. Their insatiable appetite for raw materials has created a super boom in commodities, and their playbook is to swap mining assets for financial support. The photo shoot already in the works back in July. Do you think that China is going to swoop in?
China was already engaged in Afghanistan economy. Now, in the absence of US, perhaps US was an obstacle or a barrier. And now that the US is absent, but that will open up rooms not only for China, for other potential rival of America, such as Russia, Iran, and obviously China and Pakistan as well.
In recent years, the Taliban's ability to increase income from the informal economy has blossomed. 90% of the world's opium comes from the Helmand Valley. But it's not just drugs. Billions of dollars of trade in fuel, salt, rubies and consumer goods also pass through Taliban's hands.
If we talk about that and its impact on the general population, I wouldn't feel any positive, promising picture in that respect. Because it's informal, it's illegal, and it's not coming on the budget of the state, if there exists any budget.
The response of the international community is still shaping, but freezing assets, cutting off aid and sanctions, while difficult for the Taliban, will ultimately end up being shouldered by ordinary people.